Hide your strength and bide your time. This Chinese political strategy was popularized by Deng Xiaoping, China's chairman, in the 1980s and the 90s. Under Xi Jinping, China has arrived as a military power of consequence. It isn't hiding its strength anymore, it's openly flexing it. From nuclear weapons to anti-satellite capabilities, artificial intelligence and cyber warfare capabilities, China has made impressive strides in all of these fields. Now, the US Department of Defense's annual report on China's military capabilities shows how Beijing caught the US by surprise. Now, China has made far more progress than previously anticipated. Take aircraft carriers, for instance. The report says that China could have as many as 9 aircraft carriers by 2035. That's just 2 carriers behind the United States, which operates 11 aircraft carriers. Now, the US earlier believed that China would add just 3 more carriers to its existing fleet of 3 aircraft carriers. Now, in the area of anti-satellite operations, the US report specifically calls out Chinese orbital anti-satellite technology. Throughout 2024, China's Xi'an-24C trio of satellites demonstrated their ability to conduct complex rendezvous and proximity operations, sometimes with satellites approaching within 1 kilometer of each other. Now, the US has in the past called these dogfighting maneuvers for Chinese satellites, giving them the ability to intercept other satellites in orbit. Now, when it comes to nuclear weapons, the US believes that China's stockpile is increasing exponentially. A 2020 report by the Department of Defense assessed that China's stockpile of nuclear warheads would double from the then 200 nuclear warheads which it then had. It now estimates China could have over 1,000 warheads by 2030. That's nearly 5 times as many as previously forecast. Now, China is also pursuing the development of low-yield or tactical nuclear weapons with yields below 10 kilotons. Now, such weapons, the report says, would allow the PLA to conduct limited nuclear counterstrike against military targets and control nuclear escalation. The report says that China has expanded its space-based sensor array and loaded more than 100 solid-propelled ICBMs into silo fields like this in western China, and it's tested the ability to fire salvos of ICBMs in quick succession. It says that China has made strides towards acquiring what is called launch on warning. This means that China is close to acquiring the early warning capability that would allow it to launch a counterstrike using nuclear missiles before inbound detonation. Now, the US believes that China's early warning satellites can detect an incoming ICBM within 90 seconds of launch and send an early warning alert to its command center within 3 or 4 minutes. Now, this is the kind of capability only the United States and the Russian Federation have. Now, in December 2024, China launched a salvo of ICBMs to test what is known as an early warning counterstrike or EWCS capability. It has 3 missile silo fields like this one in the remote regions of western China, where these remain loaded with something like 100 DF-31 ICBMs. Now, China is also rapidly weaponizing artificial intelligence. It's introduced them into weapon systems like this 2-seat J-20 model that's capable of controlling loyal wingman UAVs. It's got truck-mounted launch pads for UAVs and aircraft with payload modules for air-launched UAV swarms like this one. Now, China is also investing in cyber warfare capabilities like this Volt Typhoon cyber virus that is aimed at disrupting US support for Taiwan during a planned invasion. Now, during the initial stages of a conflict, the US DoD report says that China would seek to create disruptive and destructive effects, from DDoS attacks to physical disruption of critical infrastructure within the United States. Now, initial target selection of Volt Typhoon could include US military C4ISR and logistic nodes, as well as civilian targets with political and economic significance. Now, the biggest conclusion from this 2025 report is this: that China's overall goal is to displace the United States as the world's most powerful nation. And interestingly, the report says that China plans to fight and win a war in Taiwan by 2027. In fact, the China Military Bugle, that's an official account of the People's Liberation Army, released a video showing how their air and sea exercise around Taiwan had been moving closer and closer to the island nation since 2022. And the current exercise, Justice Mission 2025, which began on the 29th of December, involved 89 fighter jets and bombers and 28 warships, including amphibious assault ships of the kind that you would need for an invasion of Taiwan. Now, these China's largest exercises around the island of Taiwan, and worryingly, they are the closest yet to the island in terms of the air defense identification zone around Taiwan. Now, will China invade Taiwan in 2026? Now, that is the question that has the world on edge in the new year.